Hello again. We are in the conservatory today because in the living room someone is playing their trumpet. So we're in the conservatory today. I have not been doing these videos regularly enough. In fact, I haven't done these videos in probably a month now. And I said I was going to be doing them once a week. So it's classic me to not be doing them once a week. And the reason that is because I've just been, as everyone would say, I've been really busy. It's not an excuse to not do them every week. I think there's also a sense of being scared to make the video that I want. You know, you have an idea of what kind of video you want to make. I wanted to do one on the creative process, but I wasn't even willing to put in the time to make the video about the creative process. So instead, I'm just blabbering on so that I have a video that I can upload this week. So far this year, what I've been doing is working on an album, and there was a point throughout January I was making one song a week, and then at some point I told myself that I needed to stop because I was enjoying doing it, but I was putting too much strain on myself in order to try and make a song in a week. And in the end, I did end up with these songs, but they haven't been fully produced, or there's been different levels of production. I think I'm going to take 2 or 3 of them, and then I'm going to convert it into a fully produced song and then upload it. And the goal has been so far to upload it by the end of the month. We'll see how that goes. I don't think these songs are going to be super difficult to produce, not because I can't make them, but because... Why is it not going to be super difficult? It's not going to be super difficult because I can't do it. Sorry, what am I saying? Sorry, my brain is bouncing along everywhere. They're not going to be super difficult to produce, and the reason they're not going to be super difficult to produce is because, one, I've already got most of it done, really, but more importantly, there's going to be different ways that I'm going to go about producing them. So one of the songs I was originally going to make, with lots of guitars and all that kind of stuff, and instead I'm minimizing it, so I'm going to make it more simple to make the songs. With other songs, it's more of a case of I'm using synthesizers, so you don't have to do multiple takes of synthesizers, unlike stuff like guitars and basses and drums, or like sound effects or singing, anything like that. So synthesizers does make things easier. Recently, just on a side note, Lady Gaga released their Abracadabra. I think that was at the start of this month. And since then I've been obsessed with that song, and I ended up making my own little version of Poker Face, and now I want to try and make more of those sounds but make my own songs out of it. I don't know how that will go because I'm not someone who traditionally does pop music. I normally do more metal-y, grungy kind of style music. So I don't know how that will go, but we'll see. It's funny, I remember doing videos here in the past. I used to do Twitch streams in here, and I would just talk to people on Twitch, and that was quite a cool experience. And now that I'm back here again, it's a bit nostalgic, a little bit. So I kind of feel like I want to do more of these in this room. I'm lighting this up with a new light that I got. I used to use a ring light, but now I've got just a square light kind of thing. And it's very bright. It can light up my room, really, in theory, and it's a portable one as well. So it's very good. I'm not even using the full light. I'm using half of the light to balance the phone, and then the other half of the light to actually light my face. Yeah, it's a very good light. Sorry, I don't know why I'm going in these weird tangents. It's because I just wanted to make a video and just upload something. So here I am. I'm uploading something. I'm just trying to think of what else I want to talk about. I haven't been going to gym as much recently. I used to go to the gym once a week, and I've been doing that consistently for 1.5, maybe 2 years. And I'm not someone who gains a lot of muscle. And recently, I've been slowing down on my eating and slowing down on my exercise, and I need to get back onto that. So that's something to think about. There's a big thing as well that I've been trying to learn about called active rest. It's basically the idea that you... How do I put it? You treat rest as an activity instead of treating it as a passive thing. Because you could watch a bunch of YouTube videos. You know, you can watch 2 hours of YouTube videos, like I do, and end up in a addiction cycle that really screws you, and you don't even feel rested by the end of it. You kind of... It's a bit like reading. You know, if you read a whole bunch... I mean, it depends on what kind of book you're reading, but if you're reading like a very text-detailed kind of learning, you know, like a non-fictional, like science book, right? That's going to be quite difficult to take all the information in. Storybook is going to be different. But that's kind of what it is with YouTube videos. You kind of passively take in information, and you end up like with your brain just overloaded. And what you need is normal rest. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm trying to make an excuse to... It's almost like a form of meditation, really. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to talk to my phone, just talk about stuff. I don't even care what I talk about. And the goal really with this whole thing, and I've said it in the last video, but hopefully we can start... I'm really trying to convince myself in this video to make more videos, but the point of this channel was so that I could begin to write stuff down, and then be able to speak those things that I've written down and speak it to you. And this was meant to be the start of it. I was meant to just kind of blur my mind at the start, a bit like what I did with my writing originally. So for the record, on Obsidian, I used to write stuff down on, you know, just in a text editor. So you just click the today date, and then you just write stuff down, stream of conscious, write everything down. So that's what I'd do. And, you know, I'd put on like the time. So I'd say like the time is 10:05. Okay, what am I thinking? I hate this. I don't want to do all this right now. I got to do music in a bit. I got a meeting to go to, blah, blah, blah. But eventually I reached a point when I am now starting to write in, there's one called essay.com, essay.app, and there's another one called Scrivener, which is a really cool writing app. And then I mix that with ChatGPT as well, because it's quite good for either ordering essays or to edit your essay. So you kind of put ideas down, and then they go, I see the concept you're trying to make here. Let's see if we can order it in this way. And then you go, I don't like that. I want to order it a bit more like this. And it's really good for that. So anyway, the point is, what was the point? The point with everything I was saying, the reason I was making YouTube videos, so originally I did all that writing down, and now I order things with Scrivener, and now I want to do the same for YouTube videos. So right now I'm just blurting stuff out like I just did and messed up with the blurting out. And then I want to reach a point when I can order my ideas, like my writing, and then be able to speak it to you. And really I want to get to a point where the stuff that I'm writing down is written in the exact way that I can speak it, and then be able to speak it to you, because then I have control over how I can describe the ideas to you. And if I can do that, then we start getting to somewhere where we can really start getting a bit more interesting. Could I be able to describe a scene or a story? Am I able to describe good concepts to you, ideas about how I do the creative process? Could I communicate in a way that encourages other people to tell me how they do their creative process? And then all together, can we all work together in order to find out how we all do the creative process? The point I'm trying to make is, the reason I'm trying to do these YouTube videos is for my own benefit, and I want to also be for the benefit of others as well. I'm hoping that I can get a community along to start thinking about these ideas, start thinking about how to be more creative, how to move away from the things that take us away from creativity, whether that's work, whether that's social media, whether that's cooking, I don't know, stuff like that. Anything that can talk about, and then encourage more about the ideas of how creativity is formed, how we can start thinking more creatively, how we can think about creative ideas. So I'm convinced that the more that I've delved into creativity, the more intelligent the decisions that I make have become. Now, I wouldn't consider myself a very intelligent person, but I would say that I've been able to access different levels of clever ways of thinking through, instead of having to have a big IQ, I can instead just have creativity bolted on, and creativity kind of works as a good extra. So even if you're not particularly, you're not particularly good at thinking, quickly, or working out ideas quickly, or doing mathematical problems or anything like that, you can at least start thinking in your creative way and start to think from there. I don't think I'm making my point clear. I feel like I'm making myself sound more stupid as I talk. I think the problem is I'm rambling, and that's the thing. The thing about ideas and thinking and writing, the reason that you write things down is to think about what you want to say and what the things that you're saying mean. So, how can I put this in a way that makes sense? When you're talking, you kind of, at least I feel like when I'm talking, I don't necessarily know. I have the idea in my head, and then the idea kind of starts generating each word as it goes along. I guess it's similar to ChatGPT in that sense. It's a predictive model, but the model in my head, when I'm trying to generate the next word, I'm trying to generate it and trying to describe the concept. In this case, I'm trying to describe the concept of ChatGPT. So I'm like, each word that I'm generating, I don't necessarily know what word is going to be coming out as I speak, but I don't necessarily know what word's going to come out, but I'm hoping that the words that I speak are going to be the words that most closely describes the idea that I'm talking about. I hope that makes sense in any way. The point that I'm trying to make is, when you're writing, you're essentially practicing the art of being able to say the correct words to describe the idea to another person. When you speak, when I speak something and then you get the information, the idea appears, as I speak it, the idea starts appearing in your head, and the idea is that the thing that I'm thinking, I want to make sure that you're also thinking of that idea. And that is the goal of communication, right? We're trying to communicate so that we're both understanding the same ideas. And if we understand the same ideas, then we can maybe exchange these ideas in order to get closer to the truth, or closer to whatever it might be that we want to get closer to. And when you're writing things down, you're practicing what it is that you're trying to, you're practicing the art of, let's say you're writing about, let's say you're writing about AI, right? If I want to be able to be better at describing AI to you, then I could start writing it down and start writing down ideas of what I think about AI, what AI means to me, what it means to society, what it means to business, what it means to society. What is AI capable of? What is AI willing to do if it became sentient, you know? So these are kind of ideas that can come up when talking about AI. And if I start writing those things down, then I'm going to end up with a big blurt of text like I'm doing to you right now. But if we take that big blurt of text and then simplify it, you know, by editing it, that ends up making our writing much more concise, and we're much better able to describe the concepts that we're talking about. I hope that makes sense. So essentially, when you're writing, you blurt it all out and then you refine it and make it good. You take 10,000 words and you turn it to 1,000 words, right? You've reduced it significantly and you're able to more precisely understand what you're talking about. In theory, when you have that bit of writing, you should now be able to memorize it, is a strong word, but the process of the writing as you're editing it and as you're writing it, because you write that 10,000 words, and if you've made 10,000 words into 1,000 words, you've probably had to write that same concept over and over again. So you're thinking about that concept over and over and over and over again. So then you reduce it to that 1,000 words. And as a result, you are much better able to describe the concepts that you're trying to describe. I feel like the way I've described that is the most complicated way possible, but that's the reason why we write. If I was writing this down and then I made it a more concise piece of writing, I'd be able to describe it in 5 minutes. But instead, it's taken 18 minutes to describe this concept to you guys. It's not quite 18 minutes because I talked a whole bunch at the start. But yeah, I think that's what I want to talk about. That was a very long thing that I just diverted from, but yeah, I'm just trying to make this video, and I wanted to talk about a whole lot of things, to be honest with you, for the past month, but I just haven't done it because I haven't sat down and done it. But now that I've done this video, I'm hoping that the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 will come out and maybe be a bit shorter, and maybe I will be more willing to do it and be less scared to do it. We'll see. I hope I haven't been in a weird pose. Like, I've been sitting like this for a while, and I think it looks okay on the camera, but I'm not 100% sure anymore. Does it really matter? I don't know. So that's really it. There's a bunch of bullshit. Bye.